Hi, welcome to the Crafty Tinkerer. I'm Nicole, and this week I actually was able to make it outside to the yard. I am thrilled with it because we have some sunflowers blooming and it's early enough in the morning that the morning glories are still out. I try to get out here, pretty early when I am recording a podcast because the sun comes up just over the house and then it's like bright in my eyes, reflecting off of my face, and I have to squint, so it's not so great once the sun comes up over the roof. This week I don't have a lot of progress with my sweater. I knew that was going to happen. I think I've knit maybe 13 rows of the body. And I did cast on for the mug cozy that I was talking about. I made a little motif of a pug face, actually, that I had used for a hat that I made. And I've been working on that a little bit, which is right here. And so this has taken up some of my knitting time. But it's coming along. So I've got a little bit of that and a little bit of my sweater and not a whole lot of like stuff that you can really see. But I know, slow and steady, right? Slow and steady. So I realized about a week or two ago that I forgot to, sorry, I was checking to make sure that wasn't a yellow jacket. I have a story about that I'll tell you in a little while. I realized that I forgot to put steek stitches in the neckline of my sweater. I cast on and, I have my steek. Let's see, it's right here. And ta-da, regular ribbing. So with my mug cozy, what I've done is I have put the steek stitches in the ribbing to begin with, but then I'm just going to do plain ribbing when I bind off to see, how it's going to affect the actual cut. It's too late to go back and add the stitches, I think. I am not ripping out this entire sweater just to add some steek stitches. So it is what it is. It's a learning experience. I suppose this is why people do baby sweaters before they actually do a large sweater. But I knew that a baby sweater would take me forever. So if I didn't just cast on a large sweater now, I would never have done it. I would have just been too nervous about it. So anyway, mistakes will happen and I will just go with them. Hopefully it won't affect it too much. I'm sure people have done that before. If you are a person who has done it before and you would like to tell me your experience in the comments, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, the mug cozy I'm hoping to have finished by the next podcast. Speaking of the podcast, this is my 20th episode. Last week I thought it was 20. I got a little confused with the Christmas in July episodes, but it's actually this week. So it has been 5 months since I started podcasting. And I would like to thank everyone who has supported the channel by watching my videos and everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate it. It gives me a little bit of encouragement going along, with my sweater. And I've had a couple of people say that I've inspired them to work on a sweater or take up knitting. So I think that's really great. That's sort of what I set out to do, to show people that you don't have to be an expert knitter or crocheter or whatever your craft may be to start. We all learn by making mistakes. If we don't make mistakes and get everything perfect, well, that's great, but I don't think that there are many people out there that can say that that's happened to them. You know, we homeschool, and I even say that to my kids when they're worried about getting problems wrong or whatever. If you don't ever get anything wrong, you won't have an opportunity to learn from your mistakes. So it's part of growing and learning, and yeah, it's just human nature. So congratulations to those who picked up their crochet hooks and knitting needles and got on with projects. Back to the bee. So this week I was outside and I got stung by a yellow jacket, and I'm looking over there because I see them coming in and out. They have made a nest near our house and in a trash can that I had yard scraps in that I was waiting to take to get rid of, and I was not quick enough. The yellow jackets got there first. So I decided the other night that, you know, since bees sleep at night, I would put the cover on the trash can so that they couldn't get out. Well, they got out, and one stung me on my left ankle, and I still have a slightly swollen ankle and red. I do not remember ever having a reaction like this to a bee sting before, although I don't ever remember being stung by a yellow jacket. But I am going to tell you that this week, well, over the past 2 weeks, I've known 4 people in this area who have been stung by yellow jackets and have had severe swelling and redness and pain and itching. So if you can avoid being stung, do. I plan to go get some spray to spray them out of there, but I have to make sure that I do it while they are sleeping. And I'm even considering standing in the house and opening the window and spraying the spray through the screen so that I don't get stung again, because this really knocked me for a loop. I've been taking antihistamines, and I had some allergy cream that I put on it and antiseptic cream I've been putting on it. It's been a bit of a nightmare. So if you can avoid getting stung, do. A friend of mine on one of my knitting groups posted a link to a Michael McIntyre sketch. Michael McIntyre is a British comedian, if you've never heard of him, and he is so funny. The first time I ever saw him, it was a clip of his sketch about getting out of the house before you have kids, and then what it's like to get out of the house after you have kids. And another one that's really funny that I like is when British people are going in the swimming pool when they're on holiday. So that one's funny. He also has this one about bees, and, you know, what type of a person are you? Are you someone who is a wafter? You know, you go like this to try to scare the bees away, or do you stand still and tell people not to move, or do you go run screaming? I mean, it's really funny. He does a really great job on it. Usually I'm a stand stiller, but I won't be from now on. From now on, I will be a runner. Not that I am actually a runner, but I will be a walk away faster. So yeah, that is my saga for this week. And our son is really scared of bees anyway, to the point where he doesn't want to go outside in the summertime because he's afraid he's going to get stung by a bee. And this didn't help. Seeing what this sting did to me really has just further reinforced his fear of going outside. So I'm trying to you know, convince him that I was the one who sort of poked at the nest, so to speak, and that's what happened. If you are just outside and not bothering them and don't threaten them, then they won't bother you. But I don't know, still sitting here, I see them going in and out of that can, and I'm like, don't come for me. I have started planning my week for Rhinebeck because I have a number of things that I'm volunteering for, and I don't want to accidentally double book stuff. So I am volunteering to help with Indie Untangled. I am volunteering to help actually at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, and then I have a few other things planned. So trying not to get too much going on, but I know that that weekend is going to be a busy one. And, you know, I wanted to sort of get into it a bit more and see how things are done, and it'll be interesting. I'm going to participate in the Steak and Streak event that Christy Glass is having at Rhinebeck on Saturday during the festival. Well, not during the festival, actually. I think she said she's planning to do it in line, getting ready to go into the festival on Saturday morning. So that's really exciting. You know, I happen to be at a local knit night, and my local yarn shop owner was asking me a question about my sweater, and I mentioned that I was doing a steak, and she happened to know that Christy was going to do this Steak and Streak event. So she connected us, and I talked a little bit about it. We have to have the sweater completed, blocked, secured, the button bands put on and everything. Like, we're literally just going to cut the steak open and then wear the sweater during the festival. So it'll be exciting to do with a whole bunch of other people, and maybe some of the other people have done it before, and so I can watch them before I do mine. But you know, I guess it's just going to be all about securing the stitches and hoping that my sweater doesn't unravel before my eyes in the middle of, you know, Rhinebeck. So I don't think so, though. If I'm using a sewing machine, I should be fine. Guys, this is my last row before I do the plain knit row. This is so exciting. So exciting. Oh, you know what else? I was toying with putting a zipper in this thing until Steak and Streak came about, and then I thought, well, maybe this wouldn't be the best time to do a project with a zipper, but maybe in my next sweater I will do that. I have been eyeing up Cartography by Tin Can Knits for my next project. Oh, and Andrea Mowry came out with 2 new sweater patterns. One is just a top-down sweater, and the other one is a cardigan. And I was tempted to buy that pattern until I saw it was fingering weight. So, oh, I don't know why I just undid all that moss when I'm not going to be using it until the sleeves. So, all right, guys, that is all I have for this week. Not a lot of knitting progress being done, just a little bit at a time, slow and steady. It's not a race, but it's a race for me, for my deadline. So, I hope that you are all progressing well on your projects. If you want to leave a comment, let me know what you're working on. That would be fun, or tell me on Instagram. On Instagram, I am the Crafty Tinkerer, as well as on Ravelry, and those are basically the 2 platforms I'm on. I do have a page on Facebook that I correspond on as well, and a group on Ravelry if you'd like to join that and join in the conversation there, or help me get a conversation going on there. I would appreciate that. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, there's an icon down here that you can click, and don't forget to press the bell to get notifications. And if you have a comment for me, leave it down below. Have a great day.